On a beautiful day in early March, Maureen Watson, fellow history and legend investigator, and I set off in search of some of the magic of Merlin. Magic is there if you know how to look for it, and Maureen had had a dream about Merlin being the guardian of the waters. This fitted in with one of my ideas about ancient druids being connected to a belief system that predated what we call Celtic. The Neolithic and Bronze Age peoples personified and deified water systems, believing them to be the goddess. They called this goddess Tea, and we know her from river names such as Thames, Tyne, Tees, Teith, Tay, and of course Tweed. Since Merlin is firmly associated with Tweeddale, in particular the Tweed Valley around Stobo and Drumelia, we decided it was time for us to take a trip down there and see whether we could find anything else to add to the magic. Magic, I think, requires a little knowledge of history and one's landscape and a good dollop of childlike wonder. We had both, so off we went. The stories connecting Merlin to Tweeddale are ancient. Legend has it that he was both baptized and buried here. I will look at these stories more factually in the next in this series. They have grown up over time. I see them as an extra layer which can make our already wonderful landscape even more magical. And this was an attitude set to bring rewards on that day. Because after visiting Stobo Kirk, where his baptism is commemorated, we headed down to Drumelia, where his grave is, according to ancient stories, at a magical confluence marked by a thorn tree, where Powsle meets Tweed. Confluences have long been regarded as portals where more than just sacred waters meet. They are entrances to the Celtic otherworld. The story is that Merlin was staying with old King Meldred, who had a young queen. She had been unfaithful. Merlin, with his gifts of sight and prophecy, saw a trace of leaves and grass in the young queen's hair, and in a flash he knew she had been betraying Meldred with a lover. When he gave off a cynical laugh, the queen knew she was rumbled, and had a gang of young shepherds kill Merlin. This is how he came about his threefold or triple death. He was knocked from a tree into the river at the confluence, where he fell on a stake, which pierced his neck, and thence he drowned. Returned to the waters for which he was guardian. We decided to climb up Tinnis Castle, or Dun Meldred, and up there, in the astonishing remains of this ancient hill fort, we found our magic. A wellspring among the ramparts. First we found the little bubbling pool where the waters plummeted into an unseen underground cavern. It must be huge and deep because the pool on the surface, though constantly replenished, is tiny. And when we traced it back, we found that it rose in puddles on the hillside just a few yards away. Now, to be fair, not everyone is as sure as I am that Merlin, or to give him his real name, Lilacin, actually was a druid. The wellspring seems to echo, however, the druidic aphorism, as above, so below. And so, for now, with these waters following his command down to the Tweed, waters of his baptism, waters of his death, well, that's magical enough for me.